With Marcus Rashford and the way he's playing, but when his loan runs out, do you expect him back here for pre-season?
All the players that are on loan, they will return, and then the club will decide what to do in the end of the season.
Are you pleased with what, you know?
Yeah, of course. The talent of Rashford, the talent, even the Anthony, all these players, they have talent, and they have to put that on the team. So we are really happy, because if you put one player on loan, the best thing for us is for them to perform, and they are performing.
Hi, Ruben. The Europa League obviously is your priority now. You've said that publicly.
We'll get back to Ruben Amorim in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if something is on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, this is going to be the pre-match press conference for Ruben Amorim before the Bournemouth game on Sunday, which is basically a glorified friendly for Manchester United in the Premier League now, because obviously we are saving ourselves for the big Europa League tie next week against Atletico Bilbao. Anyway, answer some questions on Marcus Rashford and the team. And yeah, well, have a little look, see what you think, and then stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what is being said. Here's Ruben.
Team you start off with, is there any positive updates on Ahmad, and is Diogo okay? People noticed he wasn't in training the other day.
No, Diogo Dalot is out. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but he's out for these games. Next games, we'll see until the end. Ahmad is near, Mata is near, but the rest is at the same pace. Aiden is not ready, so I think that's it.
With Diogo, what's happening? And do you think there's a chance he could miss the rest of the season?
There is that possibility, but I don't know. We'll check week by week, because he works really hard. He can recover quite well. We'll see.
Are you able to say at all what he's actually done?
He has something in his muscle, in his calf. He had a sequence of games that he played all the time. We try to manage, but some of the players have to play a lot of minutes, and we have to protect that ones that we think that they are not so ready to cope with that. But Dalot felt something.
You said all along this, while you've been here, you've been learning. We all know that the most important games now are the two games against Bilbao. So what will you learn from Bournemouth away?
So the focus is that we have to face it, and that we need to have that feeling that every game here is important, and we have to win every game, because that is a feeling that is really important not to lose. But of course you can see the context. But I think we are going to face this game with the best team, because we had a full week to prepare. Some of the players didn't play against Wolverhampton, so sometimes if you recover so much the players is a bad thing. So we'll try to manage everything to win this game and to prepare the next one.
The window's nearly here. Do you know now the players that you want or would like to keep, and the players that you would like to leave?
Yeah, you can say. I could say that. Of course, this is a conversation for the end of the week, but I have an idea that is clear, because we have to do things early, but things can change until the end of the season.
Matheus Cunha's name is repeatedly mentioned. Is that the sort of player that you're looking to attract?
I will not say nothing about Matheus, because if I say one time, I will have to say for any situation that is yes or no. So I will not comment about that. We are focused on this season. We have even the way we are going to prepare the next season could change in these games. So it's hard to predict what is going to happen in the future.
Are you finding it as easy to attract players as you thought you would? Because you may not have Champions League football, your league position doesn't look good. So how big an attraction are you?
It's Manchester United. And what I feel is that there's a lot of players that want to play for our club, and I know that if you look at our club in the moment, it looks like sometimes with all the problems with the staff or people going, changing coach, the results looks like a little bit a problem in the moment, but we have a clear idea, and that is the easiest part to explain to a player, and then it's Manchester United. Everybody wants to play for Manchester United.
Ruben, you hinted a moment ago there that your mind is made up on certain people with regards to what happens next in the future. Have they still got time in these remaining games to change your mind?
Everything can happen. I think Casemiro is the best example. He was a player that he wasn't playing, and then you see the last games he's having a part, and he's performing quite well, and he's playing all the time. So I'm not that kind of coach that don't change. I like to change my mind. If they change my mind, I'm really happy with that. I just want to win and to put the best players in our team.
Obviously, you faced Bournemouth already. When you look at the challenge this weekend, considering the matches you've got coming against Athletic Club as well, how big a challenge is this for the team to get through on Sunday?
It's massive because it's one team that presses a lot. He has something to fight for in this moment with the European nights, and we know the quality of the squad, the quality of the manager, the way they play, the way they press, the one against one that they have, the mobility of Evan Nielsen, Kluivert, Semenyo. So it's going to be a really tough match, and we have to be really focused on this game, because here every game is really important, and we need to win games in Premier League. But of course, in certain details, we have to focus not just in this game, but also in the next one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about the focus of the players in the Premier League, because where the position you find yourself, you still have a chance to finish in the top half of the table. But how do you keep the players distracted away from the two big games in Europe?
I think it's just I don't talk about Bilbao during the week. I just focus on Bournemouth, and then, like I said, the way they perform against Bournemouth can change my mind for the next game. So they are fighting for a place in the next match. And if you look our table in the last game, I think we were a better team. We had create some situation to score a goal. Was tough to deal with that loss. So we need to win. That's all.
How's Rasmus Højlund's confidence been over the past week, and is that a challenge in itself, trying to manage a player's confidence when he's going to expect to be starting games, but he's obviously not had the goals recently? Yeah,
a striker, we will talk about this one a lot of times. A striker needs to score goals. We try to help him. He's trying really hard. And sometimes you want some things really bad, and this is worst. But I show him in all the team. He's so much better in connection. In one against one, he create one situations against Wolverhampton that he is improving in the small things, and he needs to focus on that. The goal will appear. So we try to explain how to improve.
Mike.
With Marcus Rashford and the way he's playing, but when his loan runs out, do you expect him back here for pre-season?
All the players that are on loan, they will return, and then the club will decide what to do in the end of the season.
Are you pleased with what,
Yeah, of course. The talent of Rashford, the talent, even the Anthony, all these players, they have talent, and they have to put that on the team. So we are really happy, because if you put one player on loan, the best thing for us is for them to perform, and they are performing.
Hi, Ruben. The Europa League obviously is your priority now. You've said that publicly, and you've said that you play the kids at the weekend, the young players at the weekend. That suggests that it doesn't matter to you where you finish in the league. Is that the case? Because you're obviously safe from relegation. You can't get into Europe in the league. Does it matter where you finish?
No, it matters a lot. What I'm saying is that with our current squad, you have to take a risk and to choose a priority. It's impossible. I want to put the best players, not the best players, the best starting 11 in every game. And sometimes it's so hard for me to take a risk in the Premier League, because sometimes the games in Premier League are tougher than Europa League. But in this moment, we have to make choices. And I also want to protect the young players. I don't want to put like everybody together in the same game that in a way that they cannot perform. I just trying to choose the best thing to help the club. The most important thing is the club in this moment, and I'm trying to cope with everything.
Last question in this section, Rob.
You've probably been more critical of your own performance than anyone else, probably anyone else in this room. But do you think that when the owners come to sort of evaluate the next season and what they want to do over the summer, that they'll be sympathetic to the issues that you've had to face? 'Cause I think everyone can see those, but you've not really wanted to kind of, make them excuses.
I think is the best is that conversation connecting with that feeling of we have to win every game, and every game is important. So we have to put our standards, even without winning, we have to put them really, really, really high. And I feel every day that the board understand the context and especially understand what we want to do, and that our idea is really clear. I'm critical because we are not winning games. Like everybody can understand that we are Manchester United and we are near the bottom of the table. So we need to be critical, no matter what happened. No matter if we lost one game in one free kick and we missed some goals that inside of the small box. That doesn't matter in the end, and that is the feeling that I want. That feeling inside Carrington.
Do you know what? Sometimes I just get the sense that getting the sense is even the wrong word. I just can't help but notice that some of these pundits, they ask the stupidest questions and they make the stupidest statements, but they phrase these questions as if they are asking Donald Trump if he's going to start World War III. It's really weird. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only football. I know we're all passionate about football and all of that, but it is only football. There's nothing necessarily intellectual about the game. It is a simple sport made complicated unnecessarily by, what can I say, low resolution thinking, shall we say. Anyway, I mean, what a stupid question that was. You know, when the players finish their loan, do you expect them back at pre-season? No, I don't expect them back at pre-season. We expect them to, go away on holiday for 2 years. It's like, we all know what's going to happen. If they're not, the loan's going to end. Either they're going to get bought by the teams that they're currently at, or they're going to get bought by someone else, or they're going to come back. At least ask a more pertinent question. Ask the question that you want to ask. And the question is, do you see Marcus Rashford staying at Old Trafford given his current form for Aston Villa? Like he's had current form. I mean, his attitude has slightly improved at Aston Villa. Slightly. But not by much. And he doesn't suit Amorim's system. He's not going to be playing for Manchester United. I'll be very surprised if Marcus Rashford plays for Manchester United again in a competitive match. Cannot see it. I could potentially see Anthony play, although it still is a long shot, because he has actually been playing very, very well for Real Betis, to the point where Atletico Madrid want to sign him, or so I've heard. And they're willing to pay something like 60 million euros to sign him as well. At this point, I'd rather have Anthony than Marcus Rashford. Just saying. Mind you, I have always said from day one, I've always felt there's a player there in Anthony. Unfortunately, he's proven my point, but in a different league for a different team. Nonetheless. But it's nice to see Casemiro get a little bit of recognition, albeit almost through gritted teeth. No, maybe that's the wrong phrase. He was given some praise there, reluctantly, shall we say, because he doesn't want to give him too much praise, because he wants him to keep on fighting. And Casemiro's played really well lately. He was phenomenal against Leon. It was Casemiro. I love Casemiro. I still think he's got a lot to offer. I'd happily see him stay at Manchester United until his contract runs out. And, you know, fair enough. If he's getting paid 350, 400k a week, well, he's entitled to get that money. But as long as he keeps on performing the way he has been performing, like especially against Lyon. But Marcus Rashford, his time's up, and he hasn't done anything at Aston Villa to warrant staying at Manchester United. And I'd be very surprised if Aston Villa buy him. In fact, it's ironic. It's not even ironic. I mean, it's unsurprising that Aston Villa have been reluctant to make any firm statement on Marcus Rashford, because let's be honest, if he'd been banging in hat-tricks every week, you know, they'd have been like, well, Marcus has played really well, we're going to look into a few things. Do you know what I mean? It would be a little bit more definite. But they're like, no, we haven't made any decisions. No, it's not happening. Well, no, they didn't say it's not happening, but they say we're not making any decisions, and I'm saying it's not happening. Not unless in the next few games he starts, you know, scoring a little bit more regularly. But no, Marcus Rashford of old. The Marcus Rashford of old was terrorising Man City. He was terrorising Paris Saint-Germain. He was terrorising Arsenal. He was blitzing teams on the counter-attack. He's just coasting along. He's just... There's journeyman footballers, there's superstar footballers, and then there's footballers that just coast along. And he's a coaster. Just like Jadon Sancho, he's a coaster as well. They've got the big contract, they're happy to earn the cash, and then that's that. They don't have the fight. They just don't have the fight. They've got the talent, but to be that upper echelon... Marcus Rashford is a mid-table footballer right now. I know you can say all the jokes about Man United. Well, he belongs at Man United then. All that kind of crack. But you know what I'm getting at. And that is, Marcus Rashford is a mid-table footballer now. He's flirted with world-class status. He's flirted, but I don't even think he's a very good footballer anymore. Because there's subpar footballers, there's mediocre footballers, there's good footballers, there's very good footballers, and then there's the elite. Now, the elite play for Man City, they play for Liverpool. The very good footballers, they play for those teams as well. And then, they're dotted around sort of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place, the very good footballers. And then you've got the mediocre footballers, who just kind of coast along. And Marcus Rashford is a mediocre footballer now. I'm sorry, he is. So is Jadon Sancho. In fact, hey, you never know. Maybe Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho would suit the continental system or continental leagues like Anthony. Maybe they just don't like getting roughed up. Because, Jadon Sancho did well in Germany. So, maybe he goes to Spain and maybe he does well. Maybe they're just too lazy for the Premier League. Who knows? But anyway, Diogo Dalot. Oh, yeah. I'm a little bit upset that Diogo Dalot is a little bit injured at the moment. I think he's done all right. He's been quite consistent. He suits Amorim's system. I like him. And he has improved as a footballer over the past few years. So hopefully he comes back. And he does provide a nice bit of width in this system. So he will be a loss. Although, we have got Mazraoui, fair enough. So it's not a total loss. But I prefer Dalot on that right wing-back position than Mazraoui. I'm not sure why. I think he's just a little bit more dynamic going forward compared to Mazraoui. Mazraoui's more defensive. Mazraoui's a slower version of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I feel. I miss Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'd like to see him back at Man United. He didn't suit Ten Hag and what he wanted to do, but he would actually really suit Ruben Amorim. You play him in one of the back three, and he would have added a little bit of pace and dynamism to that back three. So it's a shame that he's not there. He just got the timing wrong. But it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Rasmus Højlund, yeah. Season's just a write-off for that poor lad, unfortunately. There's a lot of talk about his attitude last week against Lyon. I think the guy's he's just a bit fed up because he hasn't been getting a lot of service. I mean, albeit sometimes he's not in the right position at the right time. So, and I have mentioned this, he needs to sort out his sort of position and his, you know, his game management and his in-game sort of nous, and that only comes with games and or mentorship. But a part of him, but he does work hard, and a part of him's probably just a bit fed up with it. He's not getting enough service. So maybe once, if we get a player like Cunha in, you know, that would be nice. That might sort of give him a new lease of life, because getting new signings always lift a squad to see what they can do. And, you know, a player like Cunha and maybe a little bit of competition for him in the number 9 wouldn't do him any harm. But yeah, I'd still give him another season. I still give Rasmus Højlund another season. I think there's still a lot more to come from that young lad. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think we're going to be like against Bournemouth? Do you think Marcus Rashford's ever going to play for Man United again? Thoughts in the comments, and the Big D. We'll see you in the next one.